Okay, so now it's 4:10 in the morning on April 27th of 2023. I lost a day. I actually really kind of lost 2 days, but besides that point, I'm picking up now. So this is what's going to go into the water bath next. So I'm just going to get it ready for the jars. So this is some beef. It was a little pack for $6.40 with $2 off. Here's some more beef with $4 off. It was regular 21. What is that? 54. You can see you don't get a lot of beef, cheap beef that is, for 22 bucks. 21.50. Look at that, 4 pieces of meat. And then this one was 22 something, another 22.62 or something of cheap beef. What is it? It's so hard for me to see right now. It's what is it? Sometimes I can see through the lens better here. What is it? I don't know. Something round. Yeah, exactly. It's round. With $4 off. Right? So I'll do a couple of jars of beef. I have 3 packs left of that pure pork. Right? And cover this up with that pork. And then we've got a little more pork that I had bought with $4 off. And that one was $12. But I had to use a bit to fill up the jars with the last batch. And then this one, I like the meat. And it's cheap. You can see that's a fair amount of pork there for, what is that? $17. Okay. So I should be able to get all that into 8 jars with the rest of that fat. And then we'll get on to turkey. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I want you to notice is all the fat that's on this. And that these pieces are cut a little larger. Okay? Do you see? They're randomly cut. And this is more of a fatty pork, to which I specifically bought it for that reason. Plus, the price was good. Okay? You can see. And at various sizes. Okay? Alright? That's the first thing. Hold on. Okay, so I have that pork cut up in the fridge. Right? You seen that? This is the pork fat that's going in the fridge for now. Right? I'm just doing prep work here, right? That is the beef. You can see, for the amount of money that I paid for it, I didn't get very much. I might get 3 jars out of that, 4 if I stretch it out with extra fat on top. Okay? I'm just saying. So, you always go with the more unstable meat first. In other words, the beef can go in the fridge so that after I'm done filling up the jars with the pork, if I don't have enough room in my pot, to which I don't think I will, I'll have to do the beef later. Okay, so it stays in the fridge for a little longer. Beef can always stay in the fridge a little longer than, say, pork, fish, or chicken. Okay. So, but before I put those in the fridge, I have a pot of, from that stewing hen. That meat is already in the fridge. I was going to give to Tisha some yesterday, but forgot about it. But anyway, I've got this pot, I'll show you, of the initial beginning stages of broth from that stewing hen, but I still have a turkey that should be fine, because where I got it should be cold, and it was frozen when I put it there. So after I'm done this stuff and figuring out what I'm going to do here, wandering eye, then I'm going to get into the turkey and more than likely debone the turkey to the best of my ability, because I'm going to can it in the same manner, assuming I have fat left over. But besides that point, I'll use turkey fat in that case, because turkey has a lot of fat. It's a mild broth. So when I take the turkey bones, after I debone, I'm going to just put them in this and start all over again. The problem is I need that burner. I need that burner for that other pot. And if I put that over here, I don't got a lot of workspace, but I'll figure it out. So, as I'm thinking and doing this, right, you know, like, I don't think my son really realizes the severity of this matter with these threats of locking me out of the basement, changing the locks and doing whatever he thinks he's going to do. Because at the end of the day, if there was an emergency and I needed to get into his fucking bedroom, into that fucking closet to turn off the freaking water to the house because of an emergency, which I've been in this house for 12 years, 13 years going on now. There has been 1 or 2 or 3, 4 times where I've had to turn off the fucking water to the house because some pipe blew. Or something. You know? Wait till he gets that newsflash, then what? That's my fault that it's in his room? The main water tap? Yeah, okay. What, we're supposed to sit up here with no hydro while they're out and about doing whatever they're doing until they get home to turn on the fucking breaker? Yeah, okay. Or any kind of an emergency where I need to go downstairs and shut off the fucking breaker? How about that one? Yeah, okay. Like, it's stupid. Fucking stupid. He's been in this house from the moment I moved in, and now he wants to lock me out. Yeah, okay. It took you fucking 13 years to do that. 14, 12 years to do that. Yeah, okay. Why? What you gonna gain out of it? He's not thinking. So now I have to explain myself over and over and over again to people who don't want to hear what I have to say because somehow it's unreasonable. Yeah, okay. Let the basement flood out and learn the hard fucking way. I couldn't turn off the water tap. Don't get mad at me. That's stupid. Anyway, I don't want to think about it other than I'll deal with that time when the subject comes up. Okay, so I'm put those in the fridge. Oh yes, that lard. I don't know what I did with it. It's not there anymore. I'm so stressed out. I lost that lard I was rendering. Honest to God, I don't know where it is. Anyway, what happened was I should have just left it. I knew better, but when I took the grease out, as soon as you start taking out the grease when you're in the middle of rendering something, and you start taking out the grease, it doesn't render as well after the fact. Whereas if you just let it render right through to the bitter end, you get a better result. But sometimes we have to change the, method here, right? So okay, so we know I got the 3 jars of the pure lard. Okay. I'm happy with that, considering all things said. I turned down the oven. I don't know, this thing sometimes turns itself off. I put it to 225, went to sleep, got up. By the time I got into the oven, I don't know, I think the oven somehow maybe turned itself off. So it sat there for a bit, so I put it back on for 250, left it for a bit, nothing was happening. I thought, well, I'll put in a little bit of water and see if that will get it sizzling and melting, and as soon as I put the water in, I could hear it sizzling and stuff because it was hot, right? But it's just the fat itself stopped releasing grease, right? but it was greasy. Because I took away the grease too fast, right? I took this away too fast. I should have left it for another couple of 2-3 hours. Anyway, besides that point. Long story short, I went to go taste it after giving it some time to perhaps render, to which it hardly did. And it tasted almost charred. You know, it was not as good as when I did this. Oh, when I did this and I was eating that lard, oh man, it was good. But after I disrupted the process, added the water and seared it a bit and whatever, it didn't like it. So obviously I took it out of the oven. That's how stressed out I am. I lost the lard. I don't even know where it is. I must have put it in something. I don't even see where the tray is. Huh. Anyway, it's going to be raccoon food or bird food. I know the birds would really like it. So when I find it, it's just going out on the grass for the birds, and more than likely the birds will eat it first before the raccoons will eat it or anything else. Once the birds get a wind of it, it'll be gone. There'll be tons of birds out there fighting over this. But next time, no, you just leave it for as long as you can. But that's okay. I got 3 jars, and I'm filling on top of these jars, and I've got this for what I got a can now. And I'm pretty happy from what I can see. I got to get these into my room, right? Because we don't want that grease crawling. I'm trying to avoid the basement altogether. Cut my losses as if I haven't had enough loss, right? And get this stuff done anyway, and get it out of the done, and then it's done, right? And then it will be vacuum sealing almonds and getting them in the freezer. Go figure. Right. Okay, so the only difference that I'm doing here, I already wiped the ribs with vinegar, but if you notice, the headspace with the fat is just a little higher. But there's a lot of fat in this, okay? So it's going to melt, right? And not a lot of liquid in the meat. So I'm assuming that everything will be fine. So hold on. Okay, so I've got that in the pot now. Turned up the heat. And we're going to do the same thing. 3 hours. But I just want to... What is it? It's the 27th of April of 2023. It's been 1 year since basically I've noticed that something happened to my eyes in an instant. Okay, on April 22nd, the SWAT of the federal SWAT, because that wasn't RCMP, that blew out Debbie's house. That was April 22nd with Andre's News. I was still seeing pretty good, right, for the most part, because I could, you know, I was zooming in on the computer with the, you know how I do that, right? And then by the 31st, Tisha took me out, April 31st of 2022, to go to the bank. And as we were driving down the road, everything was cloudy. It didn't clear out. That's when I went to the eye clinic. They said they could get me a referral ASAP, to which they didn't. But the cloudiness never cleared. Eventually, I went to the hospital after a month and a half of waiting for a referral. After I phoned back to find out what happened to the referral, they said they hadn't put it in yet. Okay. And then, so anyway, I just ended up going to the hospital since then. So it's been a year now, and basically whatever happened from that time that they checked my iris and they've done the laser surgery, my eyes have gotten worse, people, okay? You hear it from the horse's mouth. It's really bad today, like really bad. Now, of course, stress plays a role in that, right? But it's not just stress, okay? So I don't know what this is leading up to, all right? the other thing is, I do want to document it, right? Because I don't even know how many more videos I'm going to be able to make if this continues on the way it's continuing, because it's accelerating, actually, in my opinion, quite fast. But I do want to document it, that Tamika Dixon Johnson, Julian Johnson's sister, the one who's been stalking me ever since the day Shimei was murdered in this house by her brother with her assistance, because she's the one who laced Shimei's cigarettes with the medical fentanyl first to make it easy for Julian to knock her on the head or whatever, disarm her, and then shoot her up with a speedball to make it look like she was doing drugs at 8 o'clock in the morning after she was looking after her baby because of his first cold. And he came here under false pretense that his mother's house got robbed and he had to hide out. And that was the excuse to worm his way back in so he could finish off the job that his sister started with that lacing of Shimei's cigarettes with medical fentanyl. Anyway, this bitch is stalking other YouTubers that support my channel. And I just want to document that. She did that with Tommy, and I guess she feels like she scared him off. But if you notice, Tommy isn't even around anymore. She did that with Truth for Reality. She did that with Tiffany Draper. She literally stalks other YouTubers on YouTube that support my family. And she's been doing it recently. So even though she's not posting videos, because she knows she gets stumbled over her words and get caught up in her lies. So she doesn't say much, because it's all lies that come out of her mouth, or twisted truths that end up being lies. Even if there was some kind of truth in there, it ends up being one big fat lie. Doesn't mean she's disappeared. No, it just means that she's stalking other YouTubers on YouTube. I just wanted to document that. So the bitch hasn't stopped. So we know the bitch is still stalking my yard. That's all I'm having to say here. Okay? So we'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, pretty straightforward, right? So it should be done by 4:30, so between 4:30 and 5, right? Okay. And now I got into that turkey. I started cutting it, and it's fine. It was still somewhat frozen on the inside and nice and cold. So now I'm going to start putting the bones in here to richen up this broth, and then I'm going to put some celery, a half an onion, and a few carrots just to give it some extra taste. And that's what I'm going to make with broth as I cut the turkey and get it ready for the next batch of 8 jars. To which I am going to do it the same way as I'm doing this pork, plus I still have that little bit of beef. So I've got probably 2 more times to do it this way, and then I should go through all that fat that I have, right, as a top layer, okay? And then after that, I'm done except for maybe that fish, right? And I don't plan on doing this because, you know, honestly, my eyes got worse, people. I know Tamika Johnson's just laughing and just rubbing her hands, thinking, I don't know what she's thinking, but anyway, it's not what she's thinking. Whatever she thinks she's thinking, she's not going to get very far with it, people, okay? She can gang stalk people on YouTube and chase them around town, and she can creep my yard with her fucking funky friends, but at the end of the day, when the shit hits the fan, it's all going to come to the fucking surface, and everybody's going to be reminded that it was that girl who laced Shimei cigarettes at her mother's house with the medical fentanyl. And then within 2.5 days, her brother came to the house under an excuse of his mother's house being robbed, and he had to hide out. So he convinced Shimei that he was just going to sleep here for a little while. But, you know, honestly, he never went to sleep. Instead, he murdered Shimei. But before he could do that, they had to subdue her. So that's where the medical fentanyl comes in. And that's how his sister comes in. Because it was his sister who did that. She's the one who likes to plant bobby pins, tampons, hand creams in other people's boyfriends. She's the one that likes to take dog ashes, put them into Lucky Charms, and then give it to her lover and say, that's my brother's ashes. She's the one that likes to do things where people can't see it because she's plotting and scheming for some other means, right? So, really happy with this, and I'll be back. Okay, so we see what's going on here, right? It's very full. Turkey bones, part of the turkey wing and the turkey neck, and oh yeah. So I'm gonna start heating it up slowly. Start scumming it off when the excess blood and whatever comes up, and I'm gonna try and try and make sure it doesn't overflow, right? And then of course this is going quite nicely, as you can see. Right, we got it at 4. So 4 seems to be fine. That's what it was like on that burner. Right? So hold on. Okay, so I've got the chicken fat in a pot, and I'm going to just start rendering it, hopefully, here on the small back burner. But as I'm doing this, you know, I'm thinking about these young people these days, how they don't really, many of them, I don't know, just don't have a moral compass, people, like, really. Like, this girl downstairs, like, you know, like, she's not satisfied, obviously, right? You know, she even told me herself that, you know, she's annoyed with me going downstairs, as if I go down there all the time. I did go down there a couple of weeks ago for a few days in a row because I kind of had to get into Auntie Shimei's room and put stuff away, and I'm still not done, and I had to clear out the closet, and that's when I found out that a whole bunch of hand soap was gone, and you know, and just whatever, right? And God knows, I'm pretty sure that there was some of these sunlight bars, because I remember having like over 10 of them, and when we opened up the box, there was only 5 of them in there, so where did the other 5 go, right? But the point is the fact that she's like, you know, egging my son on to throw my shit out, like seriously, like, you know, like the only time she ever offered to help me since she's been here is the one time when I asked her to help me with the closet, to empty out the closet, right? So I could take out all the soaps and stuff. And other than that, she, you know, she just, and like, you know, nobody can tell me that my son is safe, people. Okay? Because these young people, like, they're cutting fucking deals with the cops, and the parents are involved, and, you know, they're making good money, laundering money by trafficking organs and bodies, dead, okay? Right? You know, like, I don't care what Tamika Johnson has to say. The only reason her mom's sitting up in a fucking house right now is because her brother killed my daughter. And then your mother ended up laundering money through ICBC with her fake fucking car accident. Okay? I was here. She drove up with that nice white little van that she got replaced with, you know. She would walk and she would talk and she was acting like a fucking gangster. So there was nothing wrong with her to first of all, get a brand new vehicle, but that's the way it goes with ICBC car insurance. And then they fucking gave her a buyout to shut her up. To shut her up, people. Okay? Because Julian knew what he was doing. You know, and with this girl, like, seriously trying to egg things on and, you know, bringing this kind of stress to the house because she's not happy or satisfied with moving into my house with, my, you know, my son, right? And she can't get her way fast enough, and so she's got to like egg shit on and needle him and, you know, get him pissed off at me and send him up to attack me and all this other fucking shit so that she can get what? More space? More control? More what? Me dead so she can start putting her fucking fingers into my shit? Well, I'll make sure I'll tell Tisha when I'm fucking dead, if I die anytime in the near future, it's because of fucking stress, and you make sure that fucking bitch doesn't fucking touch a fucking thing, period. Point blank. Rhea can come help Tisha. Seriously. Seriously. Seriously, because as it is, I don't trust her, people. I don't. She's too money hungry and greedy for, what, more space, more control in a house that she doesn't fucking have any invested interest in other than corrupting my son and turning him against me, trying to get Andre to hate me. You know, like, what the fuck? So that she can feel empowered? I'm like, come on. And then I'm supposed to not think that maybe she won't set my son up for fucking murder so that she can capitalize off of life insurance that maybe she might take out on my son because now that she's marrying him, you know, and being that these people are all about owning fucking houses, well, they need a big fucking down payment for that, something like $650,000 just for a down payment. Where do you think that's going to come from, people? Well, it will come from a life insurance policy, or it will come from a car accident buyout, like Julian's mother.
Right, how convenient. After Shmay dies, she comes into a car accident, but she's rolling up my fucking front yard, doing fucking U's, acting like a gangster bitch. Yeah, right. But she's so injured, that's why she got whatever she got, so now that she lives in a house, so Tamika can walk around acting like she's gonna get a little fucking payout when her mother is sick and old and she can throw her in an old folks home, or better yet, mom can just die and Tamika will inherit it all. Because that's all these young people seem to care about these days. Yeah. Seriously. Seriously. If this girl is so fucking unhappy, like, why doesn't she just go back home and egg my son to fucking move out with her into someplace else? Why she gotta destroy my house and make me sick and stressed out, right? Well, why is she terrorizing my house? Why? Why? So she can get more fucking space, right? And say that my son is a good fucking guy and that she's gonna marry him and take her chances with him. Why? Why? Why are you gonna take your chances with somebody that abuses his mother? Because after you marry him, you're gonna find a fucking way to capitalize off of his dead body. Because that's the sign of the fucking times. And that's what these fucking stupid ass, I don't know, it's not just men that are doing it, it's the women that are doing it too, people. It's the fucking women that are doing it. It's too easy for people to fucking record this shit and sell it on the fucking black market with their, with that, what is that called? Like the dark web with these snuff movies. Shmay was probably recorded as Julian was doing what he was doing, and it probably went on the fucking black market. And you damn well know that whatever those nasty cops were doing with Shmay, with Sierra behind that closed door at John's heart, was a fucking snuff movie. Okay? It doesn't start and stop with dirty cops. Okay? Dirty cops have their fucking handlers in the community. Julian was a fucking handler. Although Julian was being handled himself. That's how I feel about this girl. She's being handled by somebody else because I don't believe that she truly, genuinely cares or even loves my son. Because if she loved my son, she wouldn't turn him into a fucking monster and try and tear my house upside down so that she can, get a little more space, not have to pay any rent because my son fucking supports her in a basement that she can't stand, but yet she's not fucking brave enough to fucking leave on her own 2 feet, even though after she came in, she practically destroyed my house. Like, what the fuck? And you're gonna look after my son and protect him and love him? Yeah, okay. No, you're gonna set him up. That's why I've had 2 bad dreams with this girl, okay, since I've been in this fucking house. Ever since she's been in this house. Ever since she came into this house, I've had 2 bad dreams because of her, people. And 1 I had to shut down. So actually 3. Because of this bitch. Okay? They're sitting there fucking mad downstairs. Because what? What? You watching my YouTube videos? Well, geez. Maybe if you were a decent fucking human being, I wouldn't talk about stupid shit like this. You make me feel like you're gonna murder my son. Some way, somehow, some way, just so that you can capitalize off it and go brag to your fucking male friends how you have a house. Yeah, met your kind already. Serious, don't let this girl tell me that she loves my fucking son, as she's trying to turn my grandson against me and get my son fucking against me, just so that they can, move out and capitalize off of Andre's money and have a babysitter for their baby when they have a baby, and fuck Amari and fuck mom. Yeah, okay. Don't tell me that you love my son and that you're gonna make sure that nothing bad is gonna happen, because you're the kind of woman that would make it fucking happen so that you could cash in. Another freaking Tamika Johnson. Another Julian Johnson. How about that? Yeah, you came off the fucking internet, man. He found her off the fucking internet, people. It's not like he went out in a freaking grocery store and met her. Some dating website. And then she's been needling ever since. Well, I want to move in with you. I bet you she's the one who asked him to marry her. Yeah. I bet you. I don't think it was my son who asked her to marry him, because it was her to ask to move in with him. So she's pushing the envelope. Why you want to marry my son as you harass his mother? And you play mindfuckery with his nephew, trying to convince yourself you're some fucking aunt. You're not no fucking aunt. I can tell you that right now, because his real aunts that are dead would never have done this shit. Never. And they sure in the hell wouldn't have set up their brother for fucking murder so that they can get rich off the fucking underground economy with the laundering of body parts. Because, bitch, that's the way I think about you. Because that's the fucking foot that you came in on. And you're still fucking walking on that stupid foot. Yeah. 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 Been there, done that. Already been through it. Already lost your mate. What, you think Julian was all friendly up in this fucking house? No, he was a maniac terrorizing it. Tell me how this girl's not terrorizing it, people. How is this girl not terrorizing this house? And sure, my son can, well, it's all me, Mom, it's all me. I'm the one that's doing it, not her. Stop picking on her, you know, blah, blah. Yeah, oh, get away from me. Yeah, you think it's all you. Right, right. So yeah, I worry about my son being snuffed out with this bitch capitalizing off of it in one way or another as her family talks bad about me. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Let your daughter be murdered and the cops cover it up and discover that her body was embalmed in a hospital and you can prove it. Yeah, yeah. As your government plays mindfuckery when you take it to court because you can't afford $50,000 for a lawyer to help represent you in a legitimate lawsuit. Right. Yeah, at least I still fight for fucking justice. Those people walk all over it and they laugh and they mock and they capitalize off of lack of justice. And it's like that everywhere across the freaking continent. Too easy for people to wheel and deal in body parts and just show up off the fucking internet and move in and terrorize the house until they get what they want. It's too fucking easy. Yeah. So I worry. I'm worrying for my son, even though I'm mad and I'm disgusted with his behavior. I'm really worried that my son will be the next victim to whatever it is that I'm fucking caught up in this stupid rotten province called British Columbia, Canada, that likes to traffic human body parts. And they use people like Julian Johnsons and those kind of individuals and dirty cops and, of course, you know, coroners and, you know, those immigrants working in the hospital that just want the house. They don't care what happens to the people that live in the house as long as the people are gone. And the faster they can get rid of them by out of sight, out of mind, as in dead, the faster they can move into the fucking houses. When they aren't tearing them down and building in their smart cities so that they can move in a whole bunch of idiots and start feeding them bugs. Just saying. This girl has not proven to me in any kind of capacity that she actually loves and cares about my son. Nope. The only thing she's interested in is, I need more space. I want more of this and more of that and more. Give me more, Markane. Give me more of this. Give me more of that. And give me more of this. And by all means, go attack your mom. Because the more I can put a wedge between you and your mom, the more I can fucking control you. And then eventually she's going to fucking blindside him, people. And he will be fucking dead. And she will be reaping the rewards. And of course, the cops are going to love it because that's what they do. They partner up with those kind of individuals, right? Making them think that it's okay to go off and commit murder because the cops won't fucking do shit about it, right? And then what? Her parents are going to go buy another house? And now they're going to be like my landlord? Have 5 houses and destroy that house and destroy that house and destroy that family over there so they can end up getting fucking rich? Yeah, okay. I'm just saying. That's how it builds up, right? This girl came out of fucking nowhere and she's still not happy. I tell Andre all the time, just be grateful for what you have. Because there's always somebody out there that's got less and worse than you. Right? And this is where we just need to be happy with what we have and be grateful, right? And don't take things for fucking granted. But this girl, you know, she's completely unhappy, you know, and she's trying to figure out how she can get more as she is going out of her way to sabotage this house, people. And then trying to say that she cares about Andre. Yeah, no, you don't care about Andre. You care about controlling Andre so that you can continue to control my son, to which eventually one day you're gonna fucking blindside him because my fucking dreams have already warned me about that, people. And just by the way you treat me, oh yeah, because there's nothing holding her here. There's nothing, absolutely nothing holding her here. Okay? Except herself. Right? She wanted to move in with him. So she did. If he loves her, he'll follow her. She can move out, and if he really wants to be with her, he'll fucking move out and follow her. But do you think she'd take a chance on that? Hell no. She loves the position that she's in. Yeah. Told you I went through this with Shmay and Julian. It was just a ticking time bomb with Julian. I had the dream a year before he murdered her that she was going to be dead, people. I seen it. I seen her dead. I just don't like to believe in my dreams. But when it happened, it was crystal clear. Almost word for word. In the dream, as is, it unfolded. So when I have dreams like that, this girl moved in, I had a dream about Marcane. Not once, but twice. Because of the agitation that she provokes. It's just a matter of time. And she's really not acting much different than Julian. She's just not as violent and loud and obnoxious about it. She's more like a Joan Duncan. She does it more subtly. More sneaking around like a Tamika Johnson, planting things, moving things around, egging it on, right? But the end result will be gimme, 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 because that's what it's all about right now. Give me more space. Give me more privacy. Get rid of your mom. I don't like her. She's an annoyance. She's a nuisance. Change the locks on the door. Yeah, okay. Wait till the house floods out. Then what? Are you going to pay back my landlord for all that fucking damage? Because I couldn't go into your bedroom and get into the closet to turn off the fucking water in the house? Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. You're going to go crying to your parents and ask for the money? Or maybe you're just going to kill my son. And then wait for the fucking money to roll in by those dirty fucking cops. Oh, yeah. Or, sorry, car accident. It will be a car accident, right? Yeah, because you got to launder it and make it look like it's legitimate. Yeah, we know how that works. Yeah. Don't tell me you love my son. Nobody can tell me this bitch loves my son. Nobody, not a single person on this planet, I don't care who it is, can tell me that this bitch loves my son. And he can continue to abuse me, do this, do that, do that, do that. And at the end of the day, it's not going to make her love him any more than she already doesn't. Because she doesn't love my son. She just moved in with my son for a motive. Because if she wanted to be with my son, and because she loved him and really wanted to be with my son, she'd back the fuck off and she'd be a decent fucking human being with some morality about herself, and she's not. Instead, she's plotting and scheming, doing a Tamika Johnson, figuring out how she can make her next attack. Or have somebody attack me. Namely, my son. Okay, so on this burner here, you can see it's just a little past 4, right? So it's a nice boil. This is This is what you want, and you do not want to open the lid. If you can avoid opening the lid, I'm telling you, that is the best. So this has got to go to at least 4:30. I might give it to, 4:45, 5 o'clock at best, but I'm satisfied with this. It's been going like this since I started. So technically it's done by 4:30 or so. 4:30. But I'm thinking to give it an extra 10-15 minutes just for the sake of it. I don't know. Because I made it a little higher, that's why. Right? I didn't give it a full 1-inch headspace. I gave it like that because of the extra fat, right? So hold on. Okay, I'm going to end this video very, very soon. I can't catch a break, people. I'm trying to disconnect from this drama and trauma and dissension and strife and irritation and just whatever. Okay? Anyway, because Andre didn't go downstairs today. Because he wants to take a couple days break from the tension. Because they're trying to draw him into the middle of it. They're using him as the excuse to keep doing whatever they're doing with me. So anyway, my son gets home from work. I guess he spoke to his girlfriend. He comes upstairs, asks to talk to Andre. Andre doesn't really want to talk. Just wants to be kind of left alone. He's focusing on his art. Finally, he's focusing on his art. And I'm actually pretty impressed with it, people. Like, really impressed. I bought him a nice little art kit. He wouldn't touch it for like 2-3 months. And like the last week, I guess, he's been like showing more of an interest with it. And, he's been more focused, right? So anyway, he just wants to, okay. So my son, of course, went in on, started to go in on me. I don't work. What I'm doing is just playing. He said this is playing. And that I prevented Andre from going downstairs yesterday because I was playing with canning and I didn't want to watch Alea May and Kyrie by myself so that Andre could go downstairs and practice his reading because I was playing. I said, well, first of all, I never even got a chance to can yesterday. What I canned was at 4 o'clock in the morning the other day when it should have been done like before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay? And yesterday I was, helping Andre and doing whatever, just whatever. And eventually I got to it after the kids left in the evening. And then I went to sleep and then I woke up at 1 this morning and then I started cutting and getting everything ready for what I'm doing right now. And then as this got in there, now I'm doing the turkey. And I'm going to be, okay, but this is playing. And I don't work. And I'm useless because this is just plain, and then, I just told him, you can't change the locks. And if you do, I need to have a key because you know that if the water needs to be turned off, that's in your bedroom, in that closet. And you better tell Marina not to be putting a whole bunch of shit in front of it just in case because you just never bloody know. At first he wanted to, I don't want to say argue, but he didn't want to necessarily acknowledge it. And I reminded him there's been a couple of times over the years where there's been an emergency and I've had to go in there and move everything and turn off the fucking water. And he wasn't home that day. Not to mention the breaker may be breaking out and I need to flip the fucking breaker. Or maybe I might have to turn off the breaker. Who knows? I don't know, he brought up something about Marina. I just said, listen, I'm not talking to her no more. I know, it's not that you don't need to talk to her. I said, I'm not talking to her no more. If I've got anything to say, I will say it to you. But other than that, I'm not talking to her anymore. I'm not, people. I'm not. I told him I knock before I go in. If I gotta go downstairs into where whatever I'm doing down there. Right? In terms of, the food storage or whatever, right? I knock. I mean, I compromised there. I don't, right? So that will continue, but I'm not saying nothing to her. I'm sure she'll just to poke the bear, but I'll just and keep on walking. I'm not going to say a fucking thing. And I did ask him, who asked who to marry who? He said, she asked me. I said, yeah, I figured that. Why am I not surprised? Oh, well, I just would have asked her in a year and a half from now. I said, whatever, Marky, whatever. She's asking you to marry her as she's imploding the house from the inside out, destroying our relationships. As she uses Andre as an excuse to be an aunt. As if Auntie Chimay would cause all this trouble. Seriously, she ain't no fucking aunt, so get off your high fucking horse, bitch. Serious. You're a meddling troublemaker that wants to destroy Marcane's immediate family so that you can have them all to yourself and parade them around in front of your fucking boyfriends, being that you have no fucking girlfriends. I've had 2 dreams with Marcane since this girl showed up, and it's always men with her in the background. And now she wants to marry my son as we're in the middle of fighting like cats and dogs in this house, as I'm going blinder and blinder. And then he accused me of making myself blinder, that I'm the one that creates the fucking stress for myself. And I'm like, yeah, okay, just go away. He wanted to start getting into a hollering match. I just said, go away, fuck off, leave me alone, get out of here, go, right? That's what you gotta be careful when you're doing stuff like this, when you're mad. But this is just playing, right? Fuck mom, fuck mom, fuck mom, and fuck mom some more. Fuck mom. Yeah, well, fuck you and your stupid fucking bitch. Seriously. Fuck you. You wanna marry my son under these conditions? Well, we know why. We know why, with those men circling around. If they're not standing there like fucking zombies, got my son all zombied out at the same time. I don't take my dreams lightly, people. After Chimay, I mean, I had dreams before that came true, but nothing like Chimay. Chimay was the icing on the cake, okay? They're warnings. Dreamt about John crying when Joan was down in the basement and I was in my room sleeping on my bed in those days. I woke up fucking crying, and yeah, because of Joan, and I've been crying and I'm still fucking crying because of what happened, because of that bitch, and what happened to Uncle John because of that bitch. Oh great. I feel the grease eating my skin. Lovely. But I'm just playing. Well, my play days are almost over now. So then what is my son going to accuse me of? I'd like to know. Oh, I'm gonna have to go run this under some cold water. It really starting to sting. Oh, hold on a minute, people. Okay, so I might be in trouble because it's spilt in here straight out of the pot. Hot as hot can be. It might even go into a 2nd-degree burn here. You know how grease is, right? The problem is I can't see. So if it starts to get all weird, I won't really be able to notice it. And if you notice, I don't have a lot of fat on my body. That's aloe vera. I don't have a lot of fat on my body, so I just have to, I don't know. Hopefully it was just a few splashes, but it's burning right now, so either or. Andre will keep an eye open for it. I'll get him to keep an eye on it, right? Just in case. Because really, he's the only one that I can ask that's around. So that I can continue to play. But you know what? After I'm done this and I'm done that canned fruit and all that shit, and maybe the fish, I don't think I'm going to be doing this much longer. People, I told you this stress is no good, and my son can blame me that I'm stressing myself out because I don't want to bend over backwards and be their fucking bitch. Like, fuck you, get out of here. Fuck you. Who asks another person to marry them after they move into a house and fucking destroy the fucking house? And as it's still imploding, just, well, marry me now, right? She asked him after the fact of that big fucking blowout. You do the fucking math. Okay, you don't tell me she's got bigger and better plans for my son. Yeah, okay. You only want to destroy his mother and take over the nephew and act like you're some pretend aunt so that you can, what? I don't even know what her agenda is, people. All I know is there's a whole bunch of fucking men and they're going to set up my fucking son. And she has something to do with it. And that's when he's going to have his light bulb fucking moment. Whether I'm there to see it or not, I don't know. I just know what's coming, just like when I had that dream with Shemaine. Just like I had that dream with crying over Uncle John and the stress that Joan was bringing into the house, and I woke up fucking crying because of that fucking bitch, Joan. And I've been crying ever since because all she did was bring distension and stress and arguments and needling and picking and choosing sides and attack and like a fucking hissy fit and cat, you know what I'm saying? That's all she did. That's all fucking she did. And look what happened to Uncle John. Look what happened to him. Because of money that she left so that she could buy everybody's love. Because everybody fucking hated her. Because she picking and eating her scabs and puking and overeating and puking it out. And then if it wasn't that, it was anorexia. If it wasn't that, she was trying to kill herself every 2 fucking weeks. And she was in mental institutions and all this shit. I should have said, no, John, she can't come live here. But he didn't want her going into an old folks home in Victoria, being by herself with his fucking sisters, ignoring her. That's the only reason I let her come. Because he didn't want her to be alone in an old folks home in fucking Victoria as his sisters ignored him because he was over or ignored her and wouldn't go visit her. And because he was over here, he just said, Judy, please let her come here. I said, fine, the kids will all help her. And look what she did. It was John that was in an old folks home all alone waiting for his sisters after they robbed him to come visit him. Yeah, the whole time he was there, they've only probably visited him 5 fucking times because he told me how they were when Joan's mother died, was in an old folks home. They didn't give a rat's ass about it. All they cared about was the life insurance policy. This girl is the same way, I'm telling you. Only the life insurance policy will be taken out on my son. And then he will mysteriously die. And the cops will cover it up. And they won't give a shit, this bitch, when they harvest his organs. Because she'll just turn a blind eye to it and go on to the next fucking fella. Yeah. There's your marriage. I'm not talking to her. Nope. I don't got not one fucking word, and I'm not going to their wedding to have all those friends and so-called loving family members of hers talk behind my back. They can talk behind my back why I'm not there. And that's assuming that I'm even around. Mm-hmm. Okay, this has been 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm just going to give it till 5. I'm going to give it 3.5 hours because I added a little extra fat and there was a little less headspace. It's not going to make much of a difference outside of maybe siphoning in the water. We don't know until after the fact. And this turkey is taking an awful long time to heat up so I can skim it. But I'm heating it up low. Because there's no room on that pot. I'm like this far from the edge. So once that foam starts coming up, oh boy, I'm in trouble. Not quite yet. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so I'm just giving this an extra half an hour. I'm listening to, I'll add a link to this video, right? How Walmart is closing down even more stores in the United States. And lots of people are going to go and be in a position where not only are they losing their jobs, but that food desert is expanding from community to community, because I guess for Walmart, I guess for a lot of people in the States, Walmart is their only major grocery store in a 10-mile radius or whatever it is, right? Like that's the only one that they really have access to. And they're being closed down because apparently they're losing money, people aren't buying as much. Yeah, whatever. It's all too convenient, people. As things are being blown up here, blown up there, and crashing here and crashing there. So anyway, I know that I'm not saying, let me just turn this off for a second.
Others shared their experiences with noticing price hikes.
I could sit there with the camera in front of that video, listen, comment, whatever, but I'm not. I'll just add the link if you want to listen to it, if you're not already aware of it. But I do believe that my American friends, not to say that my Canadian friends here on YouTube, look, I bought some, what is that called? It's horseradish. As a matter of fact, I'm going to shred it, and I'm going to dehydrate it, and I'm going to put it in I just seen it. I'll do this ASAP. I don't want to say that the Americans have more appreciation for my videos than my Canadian friends. Especially friends like Lucy and, Lucy's really my main Canadian friend on YouTube compared to my other friends on YouTube that are from the United States. But, like Lucy's up high in the interior, so, she's a little more isolated, so she has an appreciation for what I talk about and stocking up, because she's not in the city out here on the West Coast like I am, where you can go to Costco's, you can still go to Walmart. Because don't forget, British Columbia, Canada is in a bubble, right? We're in an oasis. Everything's going to be fine. The world can blow up around us, except for British Columbia, Canada. We'll be the only remaining hot, like place where there's life, right? Just imagine the whole world blowing up, except for British Columbia, Canada, because that's how much of an oasis we are out here, right? Whereas Lucy, she tends to be up a little bit more in the interior, so, the food chain isn't as available when it comes to, taking it to the community, per se. Like, where in the United States, the food deserts are like, they're expanding into areas that for 40 years have been stable. And not everybody can run out and go off and buy a pressure canner to keep up with the federal government's guidelines, even though when you go to other countries, all those pressure canners are banned as dangerous appliances, and people are left with this method to which they've been doing for 100 years. Whereas my son wants to call it simply plain, because he's stuck in that oasis, thinking Costco's will always be plentiful. There will always be Walmart plentiful. And even if the food rises, he's going to magically be able to afford to continue paying whatever it is that they want. Where I'm at the point where there's, it's not much longer where I don't really need to buy very much and just kind of reverse what I've been doing. And, like I said, I'll be making my own bread. I'll be making my own noodles. I'll be grabbing my own quart of beautiful broth. Much better of anything you could ever possibly buy in a grocery store. More tastier, more nutritional, just everything. But that's for me and my grandkids. I don't care about my son and his girlfriend anymore. They're strangers. I don't know what they are. Okay? I'm going to give them what they want. I'm going to ignore them for the most part and only communicate when I have to. Like, you cannot lock that door in the event of an emergency. If you don't like it, you can move. It's not my fault that freaking main water line is in your closet. It's not my fault the breaker box is downstairs. If the water tank blows, the only way to turn off the water tank is to turn off the fucking water in the stupid house. I got up one morning or whatever, my floor was sopping wet in here. I go underneath the sink, I try and turn off the water, but the pipe broke below the turn-off valve. And my landlady said, quickly, go turn off the water in the house, because I couldn't stop the water from running from that pipe, right? So, okay, I went and turned off the water, and then she got her guy to come in, and he had to replace whatever it was that was eroded. And while he was under there, I said, well, can you fix underneath the sink because it's leaking? He never did, and I'm still waiting for it to be fixed underneath this sink. The point is I had to turn off the fucking water, and it was off for hours, and my son wasn't home. It can happen that fast. So in a situation like that, yeah, I'll talk like an adult, and hopefully I'll get an adult response back. But other than that, take your digs, take your insults, take your whatever it is, try and manipulate the situation, and just go away. Go away. If you want to sit up there and deny that your behavior isn't affecting the acceleration of my eyes deteriorating because of the ongoing fucking stress, as if I haven't had enough stress all these years, you just want to put the icing on the cake, like, go away. You tell me not to talk to your girlfriend. When I say that's it, I'm not talking no more. Now you're telling me I still can. Why? What? I don't care. I don't want to. I don't like her. I don't trust her. I think she's going to end up capitalizing off of you at some point in the future, and you just won't be around to see it. How about that? Because, considering the situation, I wouldn't ask anybody to marry me under strife. Unless, of course, you like that kind of stuff.
Can't piss it long. Want a piece?
Listen, I spilled a whole bunch of hot grease on myself. Can you see? What does my skin look like? Right in here. Does it look red or anything?
It's red right there, and there's a little puff spot right there.
Puffy?
Yeah.
So it's blistering?
Yeah.
Okay. See, he can see the blister. I can't see the blister. It's blistering now, apparently.
I can't tell if that's a good thing or bad.
Well, it is a bad thing because it was hot grease. We don't know how deep it went. And apparently it's red in here. So because Nana's got no real skin there, just skin on veins. I mean, if it goes into my blood, if it burns my veins, the thing about where I burnt it, I have veins here. And when you burn it with grease, it burrows. So you have first degree, which is just on the surface. You have second degree, which is a little deeper. And then you have third degree, which is an emergency, and you definitely have to go to the hospital. And because there's not a lot of skin there, we don't know how deep down it went. So I'm going to have you keep an eye on this for me, because I can't see.
Oh yeah, I was like, it's having a blister there right now.
Right in here?
Yeah.
Well, it's a little more meaty in there, so I'm not too worried about that, but I'm really kind of worried about this in here. Because you can see my veins there. Do you see my veins there?
Can you put your hand just like that? Just like close the thumb. Just like, do I push on it?
It's all hurting in here. It's all in here. It's splashed up on me.
Maybe it's not a blister because.
Yeah, you think it's just my fat on this part here?
Yeah, because look, it feels. I think I have.
Okay, well, this is where I'm really concerned about, because there's my veins in there. It's red? Okay, well, you watch it, okay? You're going to check it every couple of hours, okay? All right, I'm putting aloe vera on it right now, so hopefully it's not going into a second-degree burn. Because if it gets into my veins, oh boy, we're in trouble.
Can you move, please?
Okay? And of course I did that to myself because I'm not allowed to get stressed out. Right? I'm supposed to be, not only have a heart of steel, but I'm supposed to be like steel. Yeah. I'm invincible, right? And here's another thing. With this thing accelerating, like, I'm telling you, it got worse. And as for this cataract being changed, my doctor has already warned me not to expect much of a difference, because it's not simply a cataract being replaced where grayness or whatever people experience when they have cataracts and they get it changed, they can see so much better. It's the fact that I don't have those octave nerves anymore, people. I was at 13% the last time he checked. 13% on this side, 2% on this side of octave nerves, okay? Honestly, I think I'm less than 13%. And this eye is just wigged out, period. So, you know, maybe it's still sitting at 2%. I don't know. The laser surgery was only to relieve the pressure because the drops weren't doing it enough. That's why the eye specialist is taking, like, he says, like a pipe cleaner, and he's going to go around my iris and clean it out like a roto-rooter or cleaning a gutter so that my eyes drain, because the drops aren't enough. And if he gives me 2 drops, we know what happens. And I'm not only that, but I'm sleeping, or I'm 10 times more dizzy, or whatever's going on, okay? Stress instigates it, okay? So, when it gets real bad, and that's it, it's over. You know, Tisha's going to have to make some decisions, because I'm not going to live with my son. I can't, not under these circumstances. No way. So whatever Andre is learning when it comes to, like, looking after Amari, he will help Tisha, whether I'm there or not, because my son won't take Amari. He'll be willing to take Andre, but he won't take Amari. Tisha will more than likely take Amari, because I won't be able to do it. And of course, you know, Andre is very helpful, and she's gonna really appreciate that. And of course, the bigger he gets, the stronger he gets, the more capable he gets, you know, it'll be more than likely a given. Where I don't know what the hell my son is thinking, but being that, you know, he should just go have his own kid and get on with life. And it won't be long before I'm sure that happens. The only thing is, I won't have a relationship with that grandchild. No. Which is really sad, but that will be the reality of it. What can I say? And there's only so many options for me. I'm either going to be put away like a dirty secret and treated like Uncle John, and then eventually just have my IV shut off by those immigrant workers, and then just become a statistic. Or my daughter will attempt to share a place where she has her suite, and blind as a bat, I have mine, and the kids are still with us. and we tough it out until we can't tough it out no more. Whatever. I can't predict the future, people. Other than I'm not going to be locked into some fucking room by a fucking butthead with his abusive wife. Fuck that shit. Yeah. She feeds off it. Clearly, she asked him to marry him as he's abusing me, and she getting off on it, and she egging it on. Go the fuck away. So I turned that off at 5. It's only 10 minutes after 5. And we're going to leave it for another 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes before I crack the lid just a little bit, give it another 4 or 5 minutes, and take off the lid, give it another 5 minutes, and slowly start taking out the jars. And then as long as the water is clean, which I think it is. Oh yeah. I will let it cool down completely, and I will do another batch because I'm not playing. This is not playing, people. Okay? I needed to clear out that freezer. My son wanted that freezer. And, whatever. When I said, well, give me some time. Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. Whatever. I need it for some almonds. Now, whether I clear it out completely and share it with him or whether I just... fuck you, right? I need it for the almonds because Andre and Amari want almond milk. And I don't have the privilege like you where you can go out and just go to the grocery store at any time and go shopping. Never once does he ever come and ask me if there's anything that I need from the grocery store. Never once does he ever come and ask me if he could take me fucking shopping. And when he does, all he does is fucking rag on me, so I don't even fucking ask him anymore. That was over a fucking year ago. Forget it, man. Fucking forget it. Right? I'll make my own almond milk. After this video, I don't want to talk about it. Unless, of course, they keep egging it on. If they keep fucking egging it on and trying to gaslight me and humiliate me and call me down, because don't forget, my landlady's coming soon for rent. And she's going to start arguing with me about having to pay more rent. And technically, it's only $39 at 2% by law, where she can raise the rent based on what I'm paying now. But I know for a fact she's not going to be happy with $39. So I'm going to offer her a flat $100. And even then, I highly doubt that she'll be like, I don't want to say grateful, but accept it, because she'll be like, well, you do realize that, I can get $4,000 or $3,500 or $4,500 for the house, and how about $2,200? I'll be like, well, no, it's already $100. That's like, you want me to get the fuck out, but you want me to give you all my money before I fucking go. And you still want me to work in the fucking yard as I'm being accused of playing. Do you see how stupid this shit is? So I'm stressed out about my landlady coming for fucking rent. And I don't want to argue. I'm so scared. I just want Tisha to come and fucking deal with it. But I can't. I have to be the adult. I can't send in Tisha to fight my battles. And by only offering $100, she's not going to be happy with that, and neither are her fucking kids. And that means more fucking gang stalking over the course of the year, and I'm not going to know when it's going to fucking come and hit me on the head. When I don't got that whip on my back. As I'm going blinder and blinder and blinder, being called down, saying I'm doing it all to myself. Yeah, okay, fuck off. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. Listen, when I'm gone, wherever I go, if I can't take none of this shit with me, and my son wants to throw it out, then at least he could have the fucking decency. The decency, people, to carry it nicely outside and put it out on the road so that when people walk by, they can find it in a fairly good shape versus all trashed around like a pile of garbage, and they can take home what they want. Okay, and some of those people are going to be fucking hungry, and when they find the food that my son throws out, well, more than likely he'll just throw it out because he's trashy that way, right? He won't respect other people's feelings, you know, and thinking that maybe one man's junk is another man's treasure. He doesn't give a shit about that. He just, whatever, right? But you know, assuming that maybe he has some courtesy and he puts it out there nicely, somebody's going to walk by and they're going to fucking be hungry and they're going to find it and they're going to thank God. They're going to thank God that they fucking found it. That is the way the world works. Because there's always somebody out there that has it worse than you. Okay? Always. But it doesn't mean that they're less than you. Or they don't work as hard as you. Because you don't know what they had to go through from the moment they were born until the moment at that time when they said, thank God. But if he wants to do a fucking Punjabi and go get a bin and throw it all in the fucking bin and then haul it off to the fucking garbage dump, well, go ahead, do that too, because, you know, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. And then it will come back and bite him in his fucking ass. For as much playing that I do. Like, why? Why? I'm not bothering them. I didn't say a fucking word. Why you come up here and fucking start insulting me all over again? As if you haven't done it enough. Like, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Leave me alone. I'm not bothering you. I'll knock. I don't just barrel in. I don't plan on going down there anytime soon. I'm staying away from the strife. And when I go down there, I'm not saying not even 2 words to that person. Nope, not even 2 fucking words. And the only time I'm talking to you is if it's important. Other than that, I ain't got shit to say. And don't come up here and start meddling in my business. And trying to make yourself seem like you're fucking important when you can't even get a handle on your own damn life. And control your fucking girlfriend. How about that? Your wedding gift, his wedding gift from me is what's in this house when it means nothing to me, whether I'm dead or I'm completely blind and tucked away like a dirty secret. That's his fucking wedding gift. If he wants to fucking throw it out after he works it out with Tisha, that's his business. But before he throws it out, he should have the courtesy to at least carry it out to the fucking streets with some fucking dignity and leave it there for somebody who would really want it and appreciate it and say, thank God that I found it. That you can't buy, people. There is no dollar on that ideology. Oh. That water looks clean, so after it cools down, I'm going to do batch number 2. Because I am 2 days behind, technically. And I should have been completely done by now, because I have to go outside, because the whip is on my back. As I'm being told that I don't pay enough rent. You watch and see. And then I'll come in after arguing, and everything will be whiter. Yeah. But we won't blame energy weapons for that. We'll blame me for that. Yeah, yeah. Because I just like to argue and fork out money as I'm being kicked out before I leave. Like, you know, fork out money, pay, but you have to leave. So pay as much as you can before you leave, and we don't care where you fucking go because you're useless. Like, shit. As my son reminds me that I don't work, I just play. Right? Look how clean that water is. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. It looks like something is siphoning over here, but it just could be my eyes because, you know, they're clouding over, right? The stress is clouding over, I'm telling you. I can't cope with it, man. Wait, so change of plans. So yeah, it started siphoning after I took off the lid. Okay, because now you can see it's greasy in there. But that's fine. Siphoning happens, right? But yeah, not too much siphoned out. That's the point. And it happened after I opened the lid. Okay. And it's not siphoning right now that I can tell. So those ones are done. So as soon as this cools, pour it down the drain. I'm going to wash out the pot. I'm going to go on to the next batch because, like I said, I have to go outside. And I got a year's worth of yard work to do before I basically get ready to move out. Yeah. As I'm being told I'm not paying enough rent. And I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm useless. I can't stand it anymore, people. I just can't stand it. And I do it all to myself. Okay, so now I'm going to do the turkey. Beef sits in the fridge longer than anything. And I think the amount of turkey I have is going to fill up 8 jars. This is the crackling from the turkey skin. Andre just ran off with a bowl full. I'm starting to feel better now. So I'm fill up my jars. In the hair, see? They're in the oven. I'm going to turn off the oven now. So I'm kind of ahead of the game here. Finally. Took me 2.5 days to get there because I got jars in the oven, so I must have washed them earlier and I just forgot about it. Huh. I'm going to try and move these over just a little bit. I will get 8 more jars anyway, right? And then pick up tomorrow, which will probably be the beef, or whatever. I doubt. I know it's more than 8 jars between the turkey and the beef, but then I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So, anyway, 8 more jars for today. And then I put some celery in that pot, an onion, a couple of old tomatoes. I would like to have carrots, but that would mean I'd have to go downstairs, and I'm not in the mood to agitate people, right? So I will avoid the carrots. Because they might see it as like I'm looking for attention or something dumb like that. It's not even about looking for attention. So I will just avoid the carrots. It will be fine. And then this broth will cook all night, basically. And then I will be canning just broth at some point tomorrow, more than likely, in a pressure canner for 25 minutes. I'll just do it like that. And then we'll see how many jars left of meat, because technically I could finish off the last few jars in the pressure canner at 75 minutes and be done with it that way, right? I mean, I could go off and do some bacon and make a full canner. There's an idea, right? Because I still got that bacon to do. So, like, let's just say my turkey gives me 8 jars, and I still got that bowl of beef, to which makes sense. It would make a lot of sense to grab some of that bacon, which means I have to go downstairs and be up in people's fucking faces. But it just makes sense to have a full canner if I'm going to pressure can, right? And then that's one less thing to do. And then the broth I'll do in the pressure canner for 25 minutes. And then after all that's done, it's outside pretty much for a while, as well as put brown sugars, well, not brown sugar, maple sugar away. I still have that wheat to do. I've got this other sugar coming. The sugars were expensive. What about sugars and maple syrup? No, not yet. Maple sugar, this other sugar, molasses. It's like $576. Ascorbic acid, which is different than citric acid. Let's see how it works. So before I I wash the pot. So I'm going to start with fresh water, cold fresh water, in this video. Those are done. That's turkey grease that I burnt myself with. It looks like that's already sealed. Those are there. Now, there was a bit of siphoning. It could be for 2 reasons. One, I gave it an extra half an hour in the pot, so instead of 3 hours, I did it for 3.5. Or 2, because I kind of filled them up a little more higher than the 1-inch headspace. Or actually, maybe 3. I moved the lid and didn't give them long enough time to sit in the water before I started pulling them out. Because after I took off the lid, the water was clear, and then at some point something started to siphon. Whether it was because I took it out, one, and it just was a chain reaction, or I took off the lid too fast. Either or. Now, I'll wipe this down, get my jars here, get my turkey, fill up my jars, see how many jars that fills up. I have a little bit of beef covering it up.
It's like a chip.
It is like a chip, I know, it's good.
It's like homemade chips.
Yeah,
But instead of chip, it's a turkey.
it's turkey skin.
Yeah. It's good though.
And turkey fat. Well, the fat's in a jar now. So we'll fry with the fat one day. It'll be really tasty. Whatever we're frying. And, I don't know what I was saying. That's enough for two or three fries. Start with the turkey first. If I get 1 or 2 jars of beef, because there's only about 3 jars of beef. But there might be, I don't know how many jars of the turkey, that's the problem. So, even if I only got 2 jars of beef, I'll do that tomorrow with the bacon. And then I don't have to worry about that anymore. For quite a while. In terms of, well, anyway. So 3 reasons why it siphoned. But for the amount of siphoning, it wasn't that bad. And then, next video, which will more than likely start tomorrow. I'm not doing another one because my eyes are all bugged out and I'm tired. Honestly, I don't even want to do another batch, but I kind of have to, right? then these will be washed, and we'll see where that grease is sitting in these jars, right? Because I'm putting a layer of fat over the turkey and a layer of fat over the beef. Yeah. And then whatever's left can go with the bacon tomorrow. I can render it in the oven with the bacon, and it will mix with the bacon grease. And that'll be kind of nose like I did last time, which I like. And I don't have to worry about it. And I'm trying to squeeze this stuff into my bedroom, which is a nuisance because there's really no room in there. But we'll see.